everyone, good morning. My name is Itunuoluwa Onifade. I'm a developmental psychologist and a family life therapist. Today we want to talk about something common to everyone but yet misunderstood: trauma. And today we are going to talk about simple steps to heal from trauma. But let's begin with defining what trauma is. Trauma isn't just about the event, but the impact of events on you. So simple is not about, trauma is not only about what happened to you, but trauma is about what happened inside you when those things happened. And so because sometimes we go overboard talking about the events such as loss of loved one, pain from childhood, neglect, betrayal, disappointment, experience of natural disaster, accidents. So many traumatic events can actually happen to people, and that's the events that cause the trauma. But actually we are looking at what happened inside of you when trauma happened. And you know what? One event can happen to two different people, and these two people will experience different things entirely. So person A can experience a similar event as person B, but they would have different experiences altogether. And that is why we are talking about trauma. Trauma is what really happened inside of you. What happened inside of you, the impact of the event on you as an individual. So trauma can, the impact of trauma can linger for as many years if not treated, and this can impact on physical, physically it can impact on your physical body, your relationships, your emotional life, and even your mental health. And so, but the truth is, trauma can be healed. Trauma can be healed. Now, I've talked about the events that happens when trauma happens, and such as the loss of loved ones, neglect, and some other things like that. But what actually really make an event to be traumatic? When events happen and it is traumatic, what determines what makes an event traumatic is the context of the event. I was sharing the other time that when similar events can happen to two people at the same time, and those two individuals will have different experiences. What makes it different? What actually makes it different is the context of the trauma. And the context of the trauma refers to your emotional capacity. So we can visualize emotional capacity as are the core emotional needs of the person being met as at the time of event. For every human being, we have three core emotional needs. That is the need for love, the need for boundaries, and the need for safety. Now, this context of trauma actually determines whether an event will be traumatic for a person or not. Sometimes even in a family of four, when they experience probably maybe a loss of a loved one, you can see some siblings, they will quickly move on from the event, while a person will be stuck with the particular event. Some people will be stuck, and then they will be talking to the person, come on, we have moved on. But the person is still struggling with the impact of the trauma. So that means that it was not actually the event that made it traumatic. It was the context of the event. The context of the event. And that context determines the environment. In an environment whereby the need of the person is not met, the need for love is not met, the need for safety is not met, and the need for boundary is not adequately met, which comprises your emotional capacity to withstand, emotional resiliency, to withstand pressures coming from the outside, then event will be traumatic for people. Having said that, aside the context, what makes an event traumatic? So when those core emotional needs are not met, then there will be a shift in the homeostasis of the person, in the balance of the person. As human beings, as social beings, our states as human beings, we are supposed to be in a calm, healing state. Now, when the event happens, and the context of the event, the 3 core emotional needs are not met, then something shifts in your body. Something shifts in your nervous system. Something shifts in the way you begin to perceive the world. And then the outcome is how you now respond to the event. And so sometimes some of the outcome of what has shifted in your body, in your nervous system, are some of the things you begin to see in the outside. Maybe the person now begins to learn how to distrust people, suspect people. The outcome could actually be, sleep disturbances. The outcome of trauma could actually be difficulty understanding people, relating with people. Sometimes it could actually even be more, more dangerous, like, engaging in life-harming behavior, like addictions. Sometimes some people can actually be struggling with depression, anxiety, just because they are trying to cope with the effect of the trauma. So in simple terms, I've run through the understanding what trauma simply means. So now, how can you heal from trauma? Because the truth is, trauma can be healed, but you have to create context for your healing. Just like trauma happens in a specific context, same way, you can also create a context for your healing. The first thing you need to understand is that you need to acknowledge what has happened to you. You can't just move on from the event, from the impact of the event, because the event has come and passed, but the impact can linger for years. So people often say, can't you move on? Can't you just move on from what has happened? Probably maybe a person experienced abuse while growing up, maybe loss of loved ones and all of that. Can't you just move on? You can't move on, because it is not really about time healing your wounds. It's actually about what you put in place to heal. So people can carry scars, emotional wounds of 10 years, 20 years, waiting for a time bomb, waiting for another triggers to happen to the scar. Why? Because time don't necessarily actually heal wounds. Time don't necessarily heal trauma. You have to create context for your healing. And it starts with, number 1 step, acknowledging your wounds, acknowledging what has happened to you. You don't heal trauma in denial. Yes, you don't heal trauma in denial. First of all, you acknowledge what has happened to you. So how do you, initiate this process? You become more aware of what has happened to you. Probably maybe it's something that has happened to you in childhood while you were growing up. Maybe it's as a result of your experiences while you're growing up. Maybe as a result of the family background you have. Maybe you experienced emotional neglect or some other things like that. You first of all acknowledge it, because that inner child is still looking for someone to approve of him or her. The inner child is still looking for pampering, is still looking for love, is still looking for affirmation. And so the first thing you need to do is to acknowledge that this thing has happened to you. It can be simple. It can be as simple as writing a compassion letter to yourself and acknowledging what has happened to you. Oh, yes, I acknowledge that this thing happened to me, and I know it is not my fault. Trauma is not anybody's fault. So when you start by acknowledging it, then you are already initiating the context for healing.